So, I'm a parent of two young adults, and, I've got plenty of friends with younger children, many colleagues, children still at school. And because this has had such a powerful and emotive impact on our community, and there has been this huge, diverse psychological response, young people are very much a part of that. And as we know, young people, particularly these days, they're exposed to so much on social media. They often sound a lot more adult than they are inside because they've taken on a lot of information from the adult world. They get exposed to the news cycle on TikTok and Instagram. But we need to remember that young people's brains are not fully formed, that they are dealing with their own internal struggle for identity, for who am I, where is my place in this world. They have got so many internal struggles going on. And I think it's really important to be curious about how your kids are doing and really listen to them and hear how it is affecting them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a similar issue with anything that's on social media. I think children, especially young children, may be exposed to kind of things that don't know they're exposed to. But showing curiosity, showing interest, that's a really good point you make about you tell me what you're finding out, you tell me what you're being told, and I'd like to hear your points of view. That's a really good way of doing it. And I think what you're saying about children being not quite so sophisticated as they sound, I think that's good because they're repeating stuff they've heard online and they may not fully understand all of it. And they believe it's true.
Yeah.
And I think the power of social media influencers is huge.
So I think it's really important not to make assumptions about what our children are thinking and feeling about this time we live in, but to be curious and to try to approach these conversations as far as possible. And I know this is really hard as a parent, but trying to approach the conversation in a non-judgmental way, to be prepared to be surprised sometimes about what your kids might come out with, and just to reassure them, as with every other experience in their lives, that however they think and feel about this, it's okay. That together as a family, we can tolerate this. We know it's tough out there. So they have kind of witnessed and soaked up a lot of adult anxiety about all this as well.
Absolutely, it's a good point. And then the other thing is we move up the generations a bit, up the age group, we get to students.
Many students on campus have felt threatened during this period.
Yes.
And that's obviously incredibly sad for our community in this country to be able to witness that and to feel that. Do you have any advice for students perhaps going through a difficult time at the moment?
Well, I mean, certainly seek help. If there's, either from the student counselling organisations or the GPs or friends and family or anybody else.
Yeah, and perhaps your wider circle of friends as well. Perhaps now is a good time to try to detox some of that stress that you've been feeling on campus and just to try to adopt, some routines that are maybe going to serve your mind well and help you unwind and decompress from that intensity.
And when you say detox, detoxing from your phone is also an issue. Now, the phones are a vital lifeline for many, many people. And they provide lots of support and information and friendship and you know what's going on and feel a sense of connection. But if everything is through your phone and no face-to-face contact, no IRL, nothing in real life, then that's going to be difficult and further isolating. And so just getting a healthy relationship with the phone, I think, is something that's all young people need advice on, particularly in these times. And I think that's a good advice for all age groups, actually, is that under this extreme stress, is don't give up your normal routines and normal activities, stick with them. So that can be like, don't forget to brush your teeth, don't forget to have a shower in the morning if that's what you normally do, don't forget to go for a walk and go out into green space. Don't forget to eat things that are nourishing. All those kinds of things are really, really important. Basic sort of looking after yourself. It's important for young people who can forget.
Absolutely.
Because they get caught up in the moment and the excitement and FOMO, the fear of missing out, is absolutely massive in certain age groups. And that can be a real pressure. And to try and resist that and just take notice of what your body needs and what your mind needs. And again, it's that wise thinking business. So people know what's good for them, but they don't always do it.
Even young children in primary schools are very sensitive to their environment at home and, in all the other clubs and the pastimes they do. And if we as adults are holding quite a lot of anxiety and stress, about these events and about ongoing conflict and perhaps worried about family, young children will soak up that atmosphere. And, I go into schools and teachers often say to me, please try and get the message out to parents. Come and talk to us. If your child is feeling very overwhelmed and very anxious and their behavior is beginning to change, but they're not sleeping so well at night, particularly in the primary school sector, I know that, teachers really want to hear these kinds of changes in behavior in young children and adolescents. Their behavior can change when they are exposed to a lot of anxiety, and they're trying to make sense of it in their own little brain with their own little frame of reference, which is not an adult frame, and they don't have the whole story and the whole understanding.
But I wonder if some of the difficulty is that the parents don't know what to say.
Yeah.
They don't know how to talk about it, and they're frightened themselves of raising something that might be too much for the child. They'll know best themselves how to package it, how to bring it in bits, to listen to the child's questions, to find the right time to have small and short conversations. And maybe parents talking to other parents about how they've done it might be quite a good idea as well.
Yeah, and just those little conversations, coming home from school, getting on the bus, so how was your day and how are you feeling? And just be prepared again to receive whatever is shared with you. It may be nothing, it may be a monosyllable, but by demonstrating that we're interested and actually taking some time and space to listen to our youngest children, they will get the message that what I'm feeling, mummy and daddy can listen to it, or, my carers or my grandma or whoever it is, they can hold this with me. They are prepared to listen to how I feel at the moment.
And there may also be a difference between those children that go to Jewish schools and those children that go to other schools, where in the other schools, they may well be encountering and meeting children who come from families who come from other parts of the Middle East. And those children would also be going through something. And finding it difficult to manage. And so how do those children talk to each other? How do the parents talk to each other? It's a very complicated but important area to address.
Thank you so much for speaking to me today. It's been a really interesting discussion. So thanks, Stuart.